Hello. So this is a video tutorial based on Building Technology 3 with Professor Polkin. Um, we're going to start with this little guy. So you just say open project and you have this one in theory. So let's click it and see it. What I'm going to do is pretty much 4 videos. This one is an introduction, a little bit very general of the elements, very fast indeed. The second one is how to organize the first sheet or first and a half sheet of our scavenger hunt project that we're dealing with at this moment. Um, and the third one and the fourth are just expanding on how to organize those sheets more in detail and with the aim of telling a better story, the scavenger hunt story for the element or component or area that we have decided to analyze and tell the story about. In these video tutorials, what I'm going to do is analyze the element of the curtain wall. So, but it will be very similar, if not almost the same, for other elements such as the stair or the roof, etc., etc. It's a matter of more of probably going through the different scales of the project and deepen the analysis of what components shape that element that you have decided to tell the story about. Okay, so let's go with introduction of Revit, more of the elements. So as you can see, properties panel, project browser, you can dock them in out. There could be docked in different ways. Just play around with them. Classic thing is, I don't have them. Where can I find them? You go to view user interface. If they're checked, they are somewhere. So just look for them and dock them the correct way, the best way. If you have to Windows, you can put them out and etc. etc. Okay, good. Now there's one thing of in the project browser is like there's always one thing highlighted in black or bold letters. That's where you are, what you're seeing. You can go from one to another by double clicking on any of these elements. If you double click, for example, here, it opens that specific element. You know where you are because you're within, in this case, floor plans. And the previous one, you were within 3D views, okay? Ceiling plans, elevations, sections, etc. By default, when you start a project, there's no sections. You haven't created any sections, and probably there's only one 3D view. It's probably the 3D element here. The rest, somebody has come in and created this for us to use or not, or at least to explain a project. And there are different features, no? Okay. Another thing we see here in the Prey browser is that we have some families. It's going to be the families feature. We're not going to get so deep into that because you can get to this in other ways. Let's minimize that. But sheets, schedules, and legends, you're going to become an expert sooner or later. So for now, and for this video tutorial, sheets is something we have to learn because we're going to put everything in a sheet and we're going to organize those sheets to create a sheet set or construction sheet set. And the way to create more sheets is right-clicking new sheet. No, this window pops up, and by default in this one there's no title blocks, which is called. It's like how this sheet is organized. So we have to load. Okay. Now when you enter, say load, you enter into a world of folders, and you get depressed because there's so many things to handle. So let's just see first by clicking here where we are. So we're in seed, program data, out of this, blah blah blah. This could change depending on what computer you're using, especially if you're using a computer at school. This is going to be totally different. But the idea is that Revit saves a bunch of stuff called normally a library of families, which is components or different features or different elements that can or could be implemented into your file. Okay, US Imperial, and it has a lot of folders that you can double click and see different RFA, which is Revit family features. Okay, you could double click any of these and actually insert it into your file. No, so the one we want for now, and you will get to know the rest, is title blocks and D. We're going to use D. That's the requirement for reasons of being able to reduce 50% and print perfectly in a tabloid sheet. Okay, so I'm going to say open and say okay. This is our title block, the one you're going to start being used to. Obviously, we're going to change the title block in the future, but for now, we're working without this title block. Okay, good. As you can see, there's a plus, which means you have one element there, a name. So whatever name it's actually here, it's the one it's here. Whatever number is here is the one here, and vice versa. Whatever name is here, it's here, and from here to there. So you can change it as you wish. It's linked, and you can create as many sheets, and you'll see you will end up with hundreds of sheets at the end of the semester. Okay, good. More things, levels, double clicking and double clicking and double clicking and double clicking, and you think you're opening things and you're totally satisfied. So be careful. If I minimize one of these windows, you have 100 different windows. Well, it's not that it's a problem, but in terms of organizing your way of working, your process, it's better to be sure what windows you have open. I normally use this tab, it's close hidden windows, pop. That means that whatever is behind or open at the same time as the window you're working in is closed, okay? So if I were here, you can go from one to another by control tabbing. So if you had 101, you wouldn't be able to use that feature that is so useful in AutoCAD, by the way. So you can close the one that's behind using that little element. This little guy here, 3D view, that's useful to get to where? To this default 3D view. Okay, you press there, pop, you see how it turns bold. It means that you are in the default 3D element. It's not good to change much. This one is always good to right click and duplicate. It's normally good to duplicate with detailing, but depends on the case. We'll explain that further. It really matters more in plans and sections when you have dimensions or what they're called annotations. They're specific to those views. If you only duplicated those, you wouldn't be taking your annotations or dimensions, etc. So that's why duplicating with detail is normally the way you want to go, but it depends on the case. The more you duplicate, it creates a copy of whatever you are or you were before. You can right click, rename, which is obviously important, and you will see why in a second. We can call this isometric view. Let me say okay. Now here's the thing, if you change that name, why is it important to give a name that is accurate and descriptive about what you're gonna develop? Because in a sheet, if you double click there and opens the sheet, and you drag that view, put it whatever, here's the element that come automatically with it. The title, a number, and in most of the plans, it comes like the scale. We're explaining about the scale right now. So it does matter how you name things, because if you name it incorrectly in the sheet, which is basically what you present to your client or to the city hall or to your professor in this case, your title is going to be not appropriate, okay? You can select anytime you want that window and delete, okay? Good. So what else? Go to plans. We have things that we've seen in different ways. For some reason, somebody's trying to trouble us in the ways that are in the beginning difficult to understand. So in level 2, we have this in grayscale line drawing. In level 1, there's some colors in the bedrooms, and there's this thing called legend. So as you can see, intentionally, whoever made this project is trying to give us different options as in how you can see things. So, but for the purpose of the story of the scavenger hunt, we need to unify it a little bit. So how do we deal with visualizing things in different ways? So here in the bottom, there's a very immediate, like kind of a fast way of visualizing things, hiding and hiding. I want to see this, I want to unsee this, I want to isolate. So all that is right here, together with some rendering features, shadow features, or the first one is detail. How do you in detail you're seeing things, or how this is seen. You can go to wireframe, you can go to hidden lines, which probably matters more for your isometrics. So you can have what's called the crop region. Now be careful, there's two of them. They seem to be the same. One is just seeing the crop and being able to select it, which is the second one. If you press that, you hide it, but it's still there. It doesn't mean it's not cropping. Okay, so if you turn it on, select it, and crop intention, you could be able to crop the view any way you want. Okay, good. The other one is actually cropping or not cropping. So if you were to change the cropping view and saying, hey, I don't want to crop that suddenly it's just a line that is there. It's not having the functionality of cropping. Okay, probably want to crop. I don't know. Depends on your case. Could be that you need or not. Okay, you can isolate, hide elements, and you can use this bulb. Let me turn off that and go to the 3D view. Let's say aerial, for example. There you go. And press that reveal hidden elements, the bulb. Well, something weird happening. First of all, whatever in red, it's something that is not there. Let's press it again. It's not there. It's just revealing things that you have hidden in the past. Hidden using, we're going to explain a category hidden, okay? So what would that exist? If you want to unhide things from that category systems of hiding, you can select them now and right click and say unhide by category, or and now press the bulb and it's unhidden. In this case, it's a section box. Again, when we select something, it's good practice to start thinking, what category is that something that I have selected? It's very useful when you select something to check here on the properties panel and see, hey, it says walls. I guess I have selected a category of walls. Okay, good. Let's see this one, doors. This one, columns. Now, why would that matter? Why would it matter knowing what category it is about? So here's the thing. If you go to this element feature called visibility in graphics under view, you enter a world of categories. Each of these is one categories. And if you press D for door, this is the door category. If you uncheck that, okay, you see how the doors have been hidden. I've hidden the category of doors. VV, by the way, is the shortcut. I'm going to close that for visibility in graphics. You can do that in a faster way, VV. Or you can also click here, visibility in graphics, without selecting anything, saying edit. It's the same thing. Now, if you're smart, VV is the best way to go. You go to doors, check it again, turn on. Okay, now that's exactly the same as selecting, right click, hide in view, category. If I did that, VV now, this has been unchecked. Somehow we got to the same place doing it different ways. Now it's different from, and I'm going to Control C now, selecting one door, right click, hide in view elements. It hides that element, not the category of doors. So VV, doors is check. Now here's when the trouble comes. How do I get that door? And that's why the bulb matters. You select that and it will be turned red, whatever element you have hidden through that process of right clicking. You can select it now, right click, unhide by view element. Bulb again, you're there. Good. This is section box. Imagine I want to hide that. VV somewhere that section box has to be. Now if you don't find it under the model categories, which in this case is what's happening, is not there, you should search for it under annotation. Section box. Okay, it's hidden. So great. This is, I think, a good introduction of how to deal with views and how to start thinking of changing different features. Now, the power of hiding and hiding in different views only by using the VV, unchecking something, it means that we can duplicate this as many times as we want and have different views with different conditions of visibility, which adds an incredible opportunity to realize different things with the same project. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. The next step is actually putting together some features. Okay, good. Next video, next.